Se o seu contrato terminar agora, ou daqui a 3, 4, 5 anos, como que você gostaria que as pessoas vissem o Memphis? Como dessa passagem tua aqui no Brasil, em São Paulo, com a camisa do Corinthians? Dentro de campo e principalmente fora de campo.
If I could be a person that passed through this club in a difficult moment and helped it and brought structure and that would be one of the good stories to tell, you know. 3 titles in like 1.5 year. Nobody was thinking that. But I want more. The situation doesn't allow to get more right now, but I hope people that I know get involved in this club that will change it. And sometimes it happens in a hard way, like a revolutionary moment in history. Things don't need to be sweet and nice all the time, because people are selfish, and the club suffers, and the supporters suffers. So for me, if I could be part of that, that will be a big accomplishment. And outside of the field, I always give back to society. If I could be an inspiration for athletes, for people that have a good life, that have a lot of money, to help the poor, to build structures that could be even that can go as far as, like, I don't know, government. Because in Ghana, where I'm from, I'm close to people in the government, or like in a monarchy. Like, I'm from a special place. I'm a Ashanti. Ashanti, it's a kingdom. It used to be a kingdom. Now it's part of Ghana. And my bloodline is of course Dutch. My mother's Dutch, but my father's part is from there, and I think that's why my spirit's so strong. And I try to be just effective in the world, give back, right? That's for me, my purpose. And in Brazil, I will not leave Brazil. Even if I ever go to another team, I will have my home here.
Se você fosse fazer uma comparação do Corinthians com um clube da Europa, qual seria esse clube?
If I compared in terms of impact, like global impact, Barcelona, Manchester, in terms of big but in terms of fans, I cannot compare it to another team. Maybe Manchester United. They have all over the world a lot of supporters, but not with the same character and love, passion for the club. But I think Corinthians has a lot of space, potential to be bigger and to achieve a global network and how do you say that? A global name.
Vou voltar a fazer uma pergunta do Corinthians. Qual a importância do Dorival nessas conquistas do Corinthians?
Dorival, he has like experience of winning titles, experience in Brazil like coaching big players, and so he can bring this experience to a team that has almost no experience until now, because now we have experience. He's very important. I think that he's doing a good job. He's talking to us, I want him to keep doing that, because if he had all this success at like all these clubs, he needs to repeat you know, what he wants from the team. Because this team is like still in development. So.
Você é um dos mais experientes, talvez o mais experiente jogador do Corinthians, uma referência. Essa relação com os jovens brasileiros, jogadores do Corinthians, é boa? Você tem essa consciência que você é referência para eles?
Yes, I'm aware.
Ô, Nação, deixa eu te perguntar uma coisa rapidinho. Onde você estava quando o Flamengo foi campeão do mundo? Da virada de 2019? Do pentacampeonato brasileiro? Eu juntei 113 anos de glória rubro-negra num só lugar. É a Bíblia do Rubro-Negro. Todos os títulos, números e histórias que calam qualquer discussão. O link tá aqui embaixo, na descrição e no comentário fixado. Garante o seu e nunca mais perca uma discussão. Uma vez Flamengo, Flamengo até morrer.
I like to spend time with them and to pay attention to them, especially in the field. Because, as we said, in Europe you get a lot of information about football at a young age. I'm aware that they didn't have this information when they go through the academy. And that's why I see that some things is difficult for them to understand, but I see talent. So I have a good relationship with them. I try to be soft on them. Sometimes if I want to make myself clear and try to help, I have to be more hard, but I try to give them little details for them to think, to change their mind. But I will believe that they will start to understand when they go to Europe.
Uma pergunta, você tem alguma coisa assim engraçada que aconteceu com você no começo do Corinthians por causa da língua?
You know, I have some friends here in São Paulo, for example, and I started to take Portuguese classes, but my teacher was from Belo Horizonte. And she started to teach me a word like bom demais. And this guy from Sao Paulo, he said, we don't say it like that, you know? Hey, we don't speak like that here. What else? It's very important to speak the word bread good. Those pão, no pau. It's very important.
É.
Because
É diferente.
meu amigos gringo, when they order breakfast, they ask for something else.
Qual foi a sua maior dificuldade quando chegou no Corinthians? Pode ser fora de campo, dentro de campo.
Well, you have to understand that when I came here, I didn't play for 2 months. So I had to get fit very quick because we were at the bottom of the league. The pressure was there. People thought I was coming to retire. You know, adapting in lifestyle was the easiest. I feel like I'm a human being of the world, and I feel like Brazil is very similar to Africa. Every year I go back home to Africa, to Ghana, and the energy, the people is quite the same. For me, that was the easy part. Sometimes I struggled with mentality or mindset, because in Europe we learn how to be to take things more difficult or more serious. But I didn't have much difficulties. I would say that sometimes I feel that, you know, in Brazil people are very passionate. They live with their feelings, and sometimes you have to take your feelings out of the situation so you can think clear. I've seen a lot of confusion situations with my name, and everybody have an opinion very quick. It comes with the industry of football, but I think also that people in Brazil, their heart is on fire all the time, you know. Sometimes you have to take your feelings out and look at the situation, and the situation will show the answer.
Qual é o teu, dentro do elenco do futebol do Corinthians, teu melhor parceiro hoje? Tanto dentro como fora de campo. E você tem uma relação de amizade?
I have a good connection with Mateuzinho. I have a good connection with everybody in the team, but you know, some guys that speak English, like Carilho, I have a good connection with him. Garo, Yuri, especially in the field. But yeah, for me, I think that they received me very well. They help me also. If I don't understand something, they want to help me, and yeah, I'm really grateful for it.
Na sua opinião, quem desses jogadores do Corinthians tem uma condição de jogar em alto nível no futebol europeu hoje?
Breno Bidon, muito talento, potencial, lhe foda. I have a good connection with him too. Andre, the midfielder, he has a potential very big. Yuri, Mateuzinho, Hugo, the goalkeeper. Bidu, for example, Bidu, his technical ability is very high. He was struggling with some of the parts to understand the game, to read the game, the decisions he is making. Sometimes he takes a lot of risk. If he would go to Europe, he will learn in like 6 months all of these, and he will elevate his level. Garo as well. I think he will do very well in Europe.
Diz um momento difícil que tu passou no Corinthians, desde quando você chegou.
Psst. Give me my book. I have a feeling that a lot of people working against Corinthians. So when a guy like me comes to their country with my character, with my energy, and they see slowly that the team is doing well, the fans start to see the old days from winning trophies. It doesn't sit well with certain people. You know, you have some parts of like details in my contract that people find either hard to accept or have their opinion about. Everything is on Front Street. Except sometimes the truth. And for me, that's one of the difficult challenges, because I can't stand injustice. I can't stand it. I'm a guy that I'm always straightforward, not perfect, but I always say what I think and look for the best. But it's a challenge here that people work against this club, and that's what blocking the potential of growing the club. Structura, financial. Corinthians is one of the biggest club who actually make most revenue, but at the same time losing a lot of revenues, what's the problem? I don't want to expose everything, but I know a lot of things. I want to help, and for that sometimes you need to say things that are not very nice. But again, I'm a football player. I'm in a sensitive spot, because the media can throw every day some news, and you have 40 million fans. If 10% believe what the media says, that's a lot of people.
Você teve ano passado um pouco de problema com a política do clube. Teve alguma coisa assim que mais te incomodou? Ou foi no geral?
I never had problems with the politics. I don't want to be involved in that. I'm a football player. You hire me to do my job, to score goals, to give assists, to bring Corinthians to the world. If we expose the revenue that they made after I came, in terms of like, that could be ESPN that, you know, broadcast in another country, titles that we won that brings revenue as well. I don't have never problems with politics. I'm not involved. But they have problems with managing the club sometimes, or, you know, for their own interest. That needs to finish. Once that's finished, Corinthians will be the potential will be very big, and we can really start to see things that never happened before. Talking about the global impact. Corinthians, I know we won a lot of big titles, but with this fan base, with these supporters, you can do way better. Way better.
Voltando para dentro de campo. Ano passado o Corinthians teve altos e baixos. Foi campeão no final do ano. Esse ano foi campeão agora no começo do ano. Na sua opinião, quais são as coisas importantes que fizeram o Corinthians ganhar esses títulos?
One of the things, first thing I said when I arrived here, purpose. Some things happen for a reason, and you cannot sometimes say why it happened, but because the same team last year that were on the bottom climbed to number 7. We won the Paulista shortly after that. A lot of things have to do with the mindset of the players. They start to believe in themselves. It's not easy when you play in Corinthians and you almost relegate and everybody is, you know, killing you in the media. When we came out of that, you saw also some players start to play better, start to have more confidence. That's one of the things, and that confidence is something you cannot grab from the air. You have to stay in that kind of frequency and try to stay as long as possible. You never had a problem with that, but you are different.
Deixa eu te fazer uma pergunta. O seu contrato vai até quando? E depois dessa pergunta, outra. A ideia é renovar?
I don't know, you have to ask the media since they know everything about my contract. I think it's in June, World Cup. And then, you know, Corinthians and me, they want to sit around the table. I'm super open. We have to discuss that. And that's the balance about what is possible because of, you know, because of the situation of the club, the management, the structure. You see in other teams in Brazil now that, you know, they spend a lot of money on players. 5 years ago, 7 years ago, they wouldn't do that. They were not able to. When I say structure, I mean people that have a plan for a stretch of 10, 15 years.
A frase "eu tô em casa". O Memphis pode dizer: hoje eu tô em casa.
Yeah, I feel home. I feel home. I've been since day one embraced, and, you know, I feel very welcome. When I came here, I spoke to Neymar, spoke to some other friends that live in Brazil, and asked about it. But my first experience in Brazil, Copa do Mundo, 2014. E esse momento troca minha vida.
Muito bem.